Hola amigos y amigas de Rock FM, hoy tenemos una visita especial, tenemos con nosotros a uno de los grandes referentes dentro del rock melódico europeo y además que estará de visita en nuestro país con 4 fechas. Estuvieron en verano en festivales grandísimos como ROck Imperium y hoy le tenemos aquí. Él es Victor Crusner, bajista de los Eclipse. Victor, welcome to Rock FM.
Thank you so much. Fantastic to be here. I was just telling you guys how lovely you have it here. It's a lovely studio and great people. Good to be in Madrid.
Víctor, fuiste el último miembro en entrar en la banda en 2019 con una época un tanto complicada, ya que pasamos una pandemia mundial, ya que tuvimos la COVID-19, pero no habéis dejado de seguir produciendo. Vino el disco Wild, después ha venido estas 2 partes de Megalomanium,
Yeah.
y ahora presentándolo. Parece que estáis en una buena forma, ¿no?
It feels like it, yes. In many ways, we're very happy to be allowed to come play in such fantastic places that we get to come play. And like you just said, you also said we played 4 great festival shows this year in Spain, all across the country. Mm-hmm. And to come back now and to do the tour next week and to close off the year, that's probably the best thing for us. Like, we really feel very privileged to be able to do that. And I would say, you know, it's easy to think about, sure, 2019, but I'm pretty sure it's the same for you guys looking back to 2019, 2018. That feels so long ago now. There's so many things that have happened in life for the past 5-6 years. So I think for us, we're just very, very, we take it one step at a time. We tend to not reflect too much about what we do, but we're very happy to be able to come out and make records and to continue to tour, and especially here in Spain, because Spain was the first country before my time in this band. I think Madrid as a city was the first place that really embraced Eclipse. So the first time that Eclipse played here, which is, it could be 2013 or 14. I know that was the first time that the guys really felt like, wow, this is really cool, you know, outside of Sweden. So I think there's a tradition there, and it feels really good to because that's the last show of the tour as well, to play here in Madrid at Salabut. So it's going to be a fantastic night, hopefully for everybody involved. But
1,000 of people, no, in Salabat in Madrid.
Well, one can hope. I mean, that's good. It's a Sunday in Madrid, unless you guys got something else going on. There are 2 football teams in this city that are pretty dominant. And
Vuestro último paso por España fue en ROck Imperium, un gran festival. ¿Cómo fue esa experiencia? What about the experience in ROck Imperium in summer?
Oh, that was fantastic. That was early summer. Also a really cool part of Spain that we haven't spent that much time in before. But to come to that festival and be a part of that lineup, I think that's the best part of summer. Even if you're in a band or not in a band, but going to these festivals that these bookers take in that are just like Judas Priest, you know? It's like legends, you know? And even more modern bands as well, Eclipse, you know? To be a part of that and experience that together with people like we were talking about COVID before. I mean, these days, you can never take it for granted again in that sense, I guess. And I guess that's what we like about it too. And it was a great day. Sun was shining, at least for us. And we had a couple of days before to explore the area around where we played, which usually never happens. But again, I'm here now, so yeah. But no, it was a great festival. It was really good.
¿Es muy diferente tocar en el norte de Europa o hacerlo en el sur, o tocar en el sur de España?
It is.
Sí, ¿no?
Yeah, it is.
It's different people, different
it's
fans.
People. I mean, maybe it's like a thing that people oftenly say, but there is some truth to it, I think, because I think there's the live culture here in Spain. It's a little bit different compared to how we play in Sweden, you know? Swedes, when they go to concerts, it's usually you stand there and you drink your beer and you nod your head to the song. And in Spain, it's just, you guys know, it's different, right?
Con 4 fechas en España, Barcelona, Pamplona, Murcia y Madrid.
Sí.
Es una gira importante de Eclipse dentro de nuestro país, además de la presentación de vuestro último trabajo que nació en septiembre, si no me equivoco. ¿Qué encontrarán los fans españoles en vuestra gira por el país?
Well, first and foremost, we haven't been back here in Spain as a headline unit or a headline tour. The festival's great thing for all bands. It's really good, but you play for an hour, maybe, if you're lucky. And that's really cool. Like, if you like that, then you will definitely like the headline tour, because we're bringing, like most bands, you bring full production, you bring lights, you bring people. There's a great opening act that we have, Remedy from Sweden. There's always these tweaks and changes that make it more like a full experience, perhaps. So I think that's what we're bringing now too. So it's going to be like more of the stuff that you could have seen this summer, tweaked to 11, kind of.
Cool. Logic. ¿Qué tal te llevas con tu hermano? Sois la base rítmica, tanto la batería como el bajo.
Yeah.
¿Qué tal cuando estáis de tour juntos? ¿Cómo te llevas con él? ¿Cómo es la relación entre los dos?
That's amazing. It is really amazing. I think for those who have experienced that, there's a backbone to that you have that is beyond the music. And it also has some, darker undertones in that too. Like, growing up, us two brothers, growing up as brothers do, you fight, you kind of, you survive. And I think we still have that, a little bit of that mentality. We always compete with everything, we do stuff together. So I think that's a really healthy thing that's in our band, because, honestly, I feel like Magnus is my brother too, and Eric is my brother too in many ways. But you have that bond with a guy you've been playing with since you were 11, you can't really beat that. So that's the thing. Obviously, I don't think I wouldn't be here unless my brother joined the band first in 15, 14, right? So I think it's for the first time in our lives that we're actually playing music together as adults. And that's also a thing. We're discovering this together, which is really cool.
¿Tenéis material nuevo ya finalizado? ¿Habéis grabado nuevas canciones ya?
Well, no. We're completely... so since we released Megalomanium Part 2, which was in September, right? That was the last like stop for the double album. So that kind of just like... We felt like we have this much music that we want to get out there, and it was all recorded at the same time, written at the same time. We just kind of kept it on the down low when it came to like telling people that there was a part 2 coming. So we haven't written that much music in this past year. We've been touring with it and trying to discover it, live. Because I think I guess it's Eric who usually says, like, being in the studio, that's like working on a car. Like, you're putting the engine together and everything. And then, going on tour with it, that's where you get to drive the car. So, that's a natural question. Which one is more fun? Both are fun, but like, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
So I think for us, it's more like we really want to tour this double album now for at least a year before we decide on what to do. So that can obviously change, in a second. If the right song comes along or whatever it may be. But we feel like we have the material now to delve deeper and carry this with us on the road for at least a year and a half, I think.
Remedy es la banda que os va a acompañar en esas 4 fechas en España. Es una banda joven, es una banda de Estocolmo, es una banda sueca como vosotros. ¿Qué más nos puedes hablar de esta banda que va a abrir para Eclipse en estas 4 fechas en España?
It's their first time in Spain, I believe. Because like you said, they're a new band out of Stockholm. They are a great new band in a similar style to where we kind of come from, which is really interesting because there are not a lot of new bands that we meet and see. I think some of the guys in the band have known, some of the guys in Remedy for many, many years. But they kind of just started this because they wanted to really explore what they could do together. And you're seeing that now. So I guarantee you they will put on a great show, great songs, really great melodies. And they're really hungry for it as well, I think, which is really important because when you're coming out, like going to Spain for the first time, I think that's like nothing can really, you can't really expect anything because if you haven't been here or toured here before, like no matter what music you play, it is a different thing and it's a lovingly different thing. It's a good thing. So I hope they will enjoy that as well, I think.
Tenéis canciones en español como Viva la Victoria, por ejemplo, ¿no?
Yeah, shouldn't it be Hasta la Victoria to be correct? That's the thing. There's a good story about that, I think. It's been told many times. But it's so I think in the studio they needed like a strong sign off to the chorus, right? And I think it was Magnus who just said like something like Viva la Victoria, like just like put that in there. And it's like the band, it ended up there. And then before it was an actual song, I think it was sent down to some Spanish-speaking friends of ours, and they were just like, it's great, but it's not grammatically correct. Like, no one would say that, you know? And I think the band was just like, well, maybe that's a good thing, because we clearly don't speak Spanish. Like, we're not from Spain, and sometimes that can actually be a fun thing. And they said, like, do hasta la victoria, and they did that in the studio, and it did not work as well, like, because it sounds much more chopped up, I guess. And so we ended up keeping Viva la Victoria, which is like, oh, that's good. It just turned out to be the hit song from the band, I guess, and we've got to live with that now. So.
Yeah. Si tuvieras que... Se nota, lógicamente, la influencia de grandes bandas como Europe, Def Leppard en la música de Eclipse, ¿no? Pero si tú tuvieras que escoger a un bajista, a un referente, a un músico de referencia, ¿quién sería?
Oh, for me, I think, like a personal preference for me.
Yeah.
In terms of musicality, it is strange, because I think maybe some other players and bass players agree with me on that, but it's like being a musician in a band is kind of like you look up to other musicians in bands no matter what they play. And then there are, of course, really good bass players out there that you love. Geddy Lee, you know, Rush, of course, it's freaking fantastic, everything that man has done. Steve Harris as well, like, you know, there's so many good bass players from the golden bands, the golden era of rock and roll, and new bands as well, but I think for us, or for me, it's always been like looking into, like, you want to be the glue, you want to be the one who's like able to, well, I guess, find a good glue between drums and bass. Like, that's the thing you want to. So you look at rhythm sections, you look like Van Halen, great rhythm section, obviously, you know, bands like that. So I think that's the thing that I think of most, instead of thinking like a great bass player, because I don't really, well, it is a really cool instrument to play in a band, and it's a really cool feeling to like be up there with the people you know so well and just like jam out. But it's not like it doesn't really, maybe it's not a virtuoso thing. You're not trying to like show off or play whatever, because you're trying to enjoy the music with the crowd and with the band at the same time, and that's the goal, kind of.
Habéis tocado muchas veces en España, many times in Madrid, in Barcelona, en Córdoba. En fin. ¿Recuerdas alguna anécdota para contarnos que haya pasado encima o debajo del escenario?
I mean, besides the great crowds that we always felt like everyone receives music so well here, I have a really good story that happened to me 2 summers ago. We were playing in southern Spain somewhere, Albacete, I think, and we're in the 3rd song, and it was an old building, right? And I'm a big Swedish man. Like, I'm quite heavy and, you know, I jump around a lot too, so it doesn't help. But I fell through the stage. Like, I was jumping, and I felt like I broke the stage, and I fell through it in the 3rd song, which is like, that has never happened to me before. But I don't know how I should feel. Should I be humble about it? Like, should I be like, oh shit, maybe it's time to, all right, you know? Yeah, exactly. No, but it was great. And the thing was, like, it was in the break of a song that we had, and it happened. I wasn't playing anything when I was lying down, because I had my knees down under the stage, and I was still like holding on to the thing, and then Eric comes up to me and like he's just laughing. He's trying to sing a line and he's just laughing. He fell through the stage, you know? Yeah, but I mean, I didn't break anything, luckily.
Was it in Albacete?
Yeah, it was in Albacete. Yeah, it was great. But they were really kind about it, like the whole festival crew and everyone. They got so worried, but luckily nothing happened, and it was just like it's a funny story, and I will cherish and remember that for the rest of my life. I guarantee you.
Para terminar, gracias por estar aquí, Víctor. Nos preparamos para esas 4 fechas. Déjanos un mensaje a todos los fans, que os veremos en esta presentación de vuestro último disco, tanto en Madrid como en Barcelona, como en Pamplona, como en Murcia. Danos un mensaje para todos los fans.
Well, I would tell you a little bit what I said before. If you enjoy Eclipse, if you enjoy live music and you want to see a full rock and roll show with so many lights that will make you forget about whatever sadness is happening in your life right now, come to the shows, because we're starting in Barcelona this Thursday, going to Pamplona, then Murcia, and ending in Madrid on Sunday. And it's going to be a fantastic run of shows with Remedy and Eclipse.
See you in the concerts.
See you later.
Victor, thank you.
Good.